Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Choice Hotels get you more for your money so you can maximize any road trip. And as your vacation maximizationer, I'm going to make sure you hear the maximum sizzle of Comfort Inn's free hot breakfast. Let's get real close. Maximum apple. Now that's fresh crispimization. Maximum waffle. Hear that crunch. And that's maximum coffee. Oh yeah, that's the pour I'm talking about. Breakfast maximized before hitting the road. Check into more. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Welcome to the Backpacking Blisters Podcast, a family-friendly show that is tips and tales with a sense of humor. This episode is brought to you by Enlightened Equipment. If you're looking to lighten your load, check out the best quilt makers in the world at enlightenedequipment.com. With me today is Ben McAuliffe, a man that's not afraid of anything. How's it going today?
Wow, a compliment this time. I love it. It's going good.
Well, I assume so, man. You're like, running towards fires. You live with semi-wild animals. I don't know, you kill spiders for your family. Isn't that true?
Yeah, all the above, It's good.
Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited because one of my favorite things about going backpacking or hiking or just even trail running is the encounters that we have while we're out there. Ooh. So do you look forward to or even think about trail encounters?
I think I only do when I'm backpacking with you, because you're always like, oh, let's do something funny. Let's do this. Hey, let's do a funny encounter for this guy. Let's be a fake ranger. So only with you.
I do that because you lost trivia. That's what you had to do. That was part of the deal, right?
Right. Well, I think so. But I think you always just like to have some fun too, which I like too. So I think
I do, but I'm not always looking I'm not looking to generate the encounter all the time. I think that you're painting the wrong picture, my friend. When you come across like a strange character or a strange incident, are you like, yeah, let's take a pause here and find out what's going on?
Depends on what it is. I mean, if it's a like incident, like what are you talking about there? Like someone going to the bathroom in the middle of the trail, I'll probably just go through the poison oak and around it,
Well, I've seen multiple people get like medevaced out, and so I'm like, what just happened? How can I help? Like, that kind of thing. So
yeah, I would definitely get in with that, because just the skills and stuff that I have, I feel like I'd probably help more than most people. But my encounters, I'm more wildlife. I like the wildlife encounters, unless it's like within striking distance, like snakes or bears or something. Like keep a safe distance away. So as long as they obey my boundaries, I'm happy with wildlife. Fair
enough. Okay, well we got our top 3 encounters that we hope to have, like assuming they don't result in some sort of serious injury or death. Top 3, we're going to get that kind of at the end in the tidbits section. So, Ben, what's the Bible verse of the episode?
Bible verse, Luke 10:1. After this, the Lord appointed 72 others and sent them 2 by 2 ahead of him to every town and place where he was about to go. So, Carl, do you feel better having someone with you, or do you feel like you would be more like nomad and just want to go by yourself?
All right, so you're referencing our upcoming guest, Nomad Unknown.
I am.
Because she prefers to be on her own, but I'm the opposite. I actually prefer to have somebody with me, especially in times of like stress, intensity, crisis. I always want to be with other people. So how about you?
I'm the same way. Like, it's always good if you get lost or in a sticky situation to have somebody to fall back on and bounce ideas off of, as long as they're good ideas that they're bouncing off too. Right. But, it's fun to just have we're talkers, so we like to talk on the trail at times, and it's good to have that and share the experience. Like you see something and you get a picture, and the picture doesn't do it justice when you're like, hey, look at this cool view of the Grand Canyon. You're like, you get home and people are like, oh, that's...
Yeah, nobody wants to see your pictures. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for sure. It's better to experience with other people. I'm 100% with you. That's why I prefer to go in with groups. But not everybody's like that. In fact, I think most people that are checking the show out are the opposite. They actually prefer to go solo. We've done multiple episodes on the advantages and disadvantages.
For sure.
But the great thing about the guest we have on the show today is that she pays attention to these encounters, and she's had some crazy ones. So we're going to start intense and then get increasingly weird with her stories. So that's coming up right now. All right, with us today is a woman who lives everywhere. She's not afraid of wild animals or monsters. She knows how to live out of a car. Christine Machado, Nomad Unknown. How's it going today?
Going great. How are you?
It's going good. We're honored to have you on the show. So can you tell us about, so Nomad Unknown, like what is that and what's your YouTube channel all about?
My YouTube channel is about my travels. It started back in 2016. It's evolved from primarily just being a hiking backpacking channel to now covering all of my travels, which includes living out of my car, camping, hiking, and backpacking. I call it Nomad Unknown because I primarily travel solo.
Do you find it easier to travel by yourself so you don't have to like worry about if you get lost, someone telling you that you're lost? You can just be like, I meant to get here.
I think it is a lot easier for me to travel by myself. There's ultimate freedom. Some situations, it's good to have a second opinion, especially if it's somebody that you have a similar risk tolerance with. But by and large, I can just kind of like do what I want when I want. There's no conflict in that sort of way, but it does add stress.
Yeah. Well, there's internal conflict, right? You're like, should I do this? Should I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how you said second opinion versus like Ben's more of like a second guesser. He's just like, your decision sounds actually really wise, but just for the sake of argument, are you sure you really want to do that?
I was thinking more for like convenience stores. Like when I go in, there's no one judging me when I grab the like little Debbie snowballs.
What?
I can just grab as many as I can.
Yes, they are. The cashier's judging. They're like, is this for you or for your entire family? There's always judging eyes out there for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the things that I really like about your channel is you kind of chronicle really interesting things and really interesting experiences. And those are kind of the things that we're going to hit on today. So we kind of broke it down into three, we're calling it encounters, these encounters that you have out in the wild or out on the trail. So Ben, what's the first one you want to talk about?
Yeah, let's talk about your grizzly story. I started to watch that on YouTube, and it looked kind of intense.
Yeah, what you got with the grizzlies?
So what happened?
So I was camping solo for 5 nights in the Bridger Teton National Forest, just outside of Grand Teton National Park. Didn't have any issues. I went on a walk one day. I saw a sow and a cub, but that wasn't at camp. Then my last night in the area, I go to this dispersed camp area that's kind of just like a parking lot for vans and tent campers, car campers. I'm at the back of my car working on my phone because I'm trying to upload a video and it's giving me trouble. And I had been by myself, so I had been really vigilant about scanning the area and having my bear spray on me. But now I was in a place where there was a bunch of other people around, a bunch of other campers. And so I became a little bit more complacent and was just dialed into what was happening on my phone. And out of the corner of my eye, I caught movement. And I looked up at that point, when I very first saw it, was probably about 10 feet away from me, was a grizzly coming dead at me. And by the time I reacted, it was probably 6 feet away from me.
Oh.
So you're obviously you've got some emotions going on internally. Are your emotions I need to get safe, or are they, I need to get video of this? What's going on here?
I was asking that too. I was wondering that too.
Both.
Okay, yes.
My frontal lobe didn't register at first until my body moved. So my body moves and darts around the car. And the next memory I have is of the tail light. I'd come around the car to put something between me and this bear. Unfortunately, when I did that, I left my bear spray, which was sitting inside the back of my car on my bed where I had it set up. And so now I was defenseless, but I did have my cell phone in my hand, which is what I film with.
Wait, is your cell phone a weapon at this point?
No, but it's
okay. Well, you said that you were defenseless, but you had your cell phone. So I'm thinking
oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I was I might die, but I might as well record.
Yeah.
Final moments.
Blaze of glory.
So I tried reaching in. My rear driver's door was open. I tried reaching in over to grab the bear spray, but then I realized I was putting myself in a really bad position if the bear does come after me. There was people camping not too far away. So I'm my best bet is to go towards them. Because at this point I had screamed grizzly. So everybody in that side of the camp knew. and they were like moving and
Yeah.
hustling and stuff. And I was like, I need to get over by that.
Everyone's scrambling, and I just picture them like forming a circle around you, like, let's see how she gets out of this. Like, no one's coming to your rescue. Yeah, no one's coming to your rescue.
No. And I don't expect them to be honest. I have my phone programmed on the shortcut. I can just hold a button and it'll start recording in 4K. And so that's what I did. And from there, the video starts.
Right.
But the bear came around the hood of my car, the front of my car. It turned around. I don't really remember, but basically I was no longer in the sight line of the bear. And I was like, this is my chance to like get over to the other people because their car was open. And I was like, maybe I can get in their car if I need to. They had bear spray and I was like, I'll use it if they're not going to and we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was within 6 feet of a grizzly.
For future reference, I think grizzlies do respond to like hand motions. Like if you go like, hey, 1 second, it gives you a second to grab the bear spray. So for future reference.
Try it, yeah. It sounded like it was more camera shy, Carl.
Sounds like the camera worked actually.
Yeah, it was a defense.
Grizzly. But yeah, so are you, I mean, I'm guessing that you're pretty fired up, like your adrenaline's going.
I was in fight or flight, like my hands were shaking. But I think I handled it pretty well, aside from the fact that like now I know that I need to be wearing my bear spray at all times when I'm in grizzly territory. And I just wasn't because I have the belt clip thing. And like I was standing in the hammock and sitting and just moving around all the time. And it's just like so annoying to have like a big can of bear spray. So I think I'll do like a crossbody type thing in the future if I return to grizzly country.
Or double, just double quick draw.
Just a quick draw.
Okay. Ben, what's the theme of that story, would you say? Or the moral of the story, so to speak?
Moral of the story? Probably pay attention to your surroundings, right? Wouldn't you think that? Like,
pay attention to your surroundings. That's a good one. Yeah, I was thinking like, when you're in the wild, you're never safe. Because she's around people. And typically when you're around people, they're less likely, unless they're very comfortable with people. Typically they put those bears down, but you're less likely to have that encounter. And she still had the encounter. So
yeah, I wouldn't think if there's people around, I wouldn't think there's a grizzly just wandering through camp.
I do think that this particular bear is habituated to that campsite and looking for food because the way it moves around my car and like looks in, I think it was looking for an opportunity for a meal and not necessarily me.
Right.
But somebody, people maybe have left food out before and now, which is very dangerous. It's, it's much more dangerous than a completely wild grizzly.
Oh, for sure. And they usually put those bears down after a couple incidents or maybe even one incident. So, well, happy that, we're kind of joking about it, but we're happy that you survived and you probably learned something about yourself too. Like some people freeze up or they start freaking out, they panic or they don't know what to do and but you actually were like a woman of action and you regardless of whatever you chose to do, like you did something. You weren't just frozen there, petrified. So well done.
Thank you for saying that. But as intimidating as it was, I think it actually made me less afraid of grizzlies.
She can challenge them now.
I still have complete respect for them, but like I think I survived unscathed. So now I know it's like just because you see a grizzly doesn't mean you're instantly gonna like fall down dead. I had
an encounter with a black bear and I was 50 feet away and I ran screaming really high pitched past my wife who's wearing flip-flops and I was like, man, she's dead. She has flip-flops on. So you did much better than me. Yeah, I know. I was trying to save the kids in the house, that were like quarter mile away. So
what a hero, she said.
Yeah. This is why I think traveling by yourself, no one notices.
You earned a lot of husband points that day.
If you act like a chicken sometimes.
I actually kind of understand that theory though, because like if I plan a challenging route, like a cross country route or something like that, I prefer to do it by myself because in case I like get to a spot where I didn't envision the terrain correctly based on the map and I have to turn around, I'm like, nobody will know.
Correct. Unless you tell that, I don't know. We like our show is based on all the mess ups that we do. That's why Ben fits right in with his running away from the bear story, and that makes people feel more like they can go outside as well, and they don't have to be perfect. So.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Also, and if it had ever happened to me, then I'd probably share it, but it hasn't. So after
you come to terms with it, for sure. Okay, so that's story number one, and we're the way we're going is we're going to like go increasingly stranger stories here. So the grizzly story is a good story. I don't know if it's strange because that could happen to people. So next level you actually have a Bigfoot encounter story.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Can you tell us that story?
I was really hesitant to share it because honestly, I'm not a Bigfoot believer.
Okay.
But I did see a Bigfoot.
Wait, that doesn't make sense. Wait, so do you believe now or?
Yeah, I guess I do.
Okay.
I mean, I know what I believe what I saw.
Okay.
So I was living in Mount Rainier National Park last summer, and
cool.
It was the evening. I'd gotten off work. I drove around to another part of the park, which is now closed.
Okay. Because of Bigfoot, probably.
Probably. No, literally, that's kind of my theory.
Okay.
Supposedly, a bridge is unstructurally sound. If the bridge is fully rusted out, does not mean that we can't drive over it.
Right.
Anyway, it was literally a dark and stormy night. Really low lighting up this pretty bad dirt road. I'm driving along at a pretty slow speed. I turn a corner. I see a bipedal figure, pretty tall, but skinnier than you would think of a Bigfoot. Not a person wearing clothes, just like a dark figure. It took 3 steps and was into the tree line.
Wait, how tall are we talking? Like, how big is this thing?
I'd say like maybe 7 feet. So not as big as I would have expected.
Okay.
But after I told this story to other people who live in the area, work around the park, they're like, yeah, that makes sense. And like, I was afraid to tell them because I'm like, they're going to think I'm insane. And they were all like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, if you describe it in more detail, like it had kind of a long beard and like a little bit of gray spots. They probably have like names for it. They're like, oh yeah, that's Jim the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
We know that one.
If I could have, I just saw like the figure move, and there's nothing around there. There are no campgrounds, no other roads. I hadn't seen another car for miles downhill. And it was just like not the kind of weather where people would really want to be out. I just kind of foolishly was going to sleep at a trailhead and do a hike the next day.
So not a person in a costume, you're saying?
Oh, no. If somebody wanted to dress up like that in a costume, like do it on a day where there's actually people around.
Yeah, but then it's too obvious, right? Like you got to...
what a waste of time.
Yeah. Well, then you might get shot though too, right? Because like somebody wants to capture you.
Yeah.
We've encountered in Olympic National Park. We encountered somebody in a Bigfoot costume, so it's possible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it one of you?
Yeah, it was one of our group. Okay. they backpacked in. You're too smart.
She
for
knows
us.
you so well. She already knows you.
She's like, I'm seeing right through the story here.
So did your followers grow after you shared that story? Because now you got the Bigfoot believers following you.
No, I don't think
really?
so.
Really?
No.
Okay.
Oh, you got to tap into that culture over there of the believers.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. So, yeah. So one thing this is kind of, I don't know. I feel like you're unique in this way. I feel like when people have a Bigfoot experience or Bigfoot encounter, they don't typically behave like you. They're typically like, oh, I saw a Bigfoot and now I'm devoting my life to looking for Bigfoot. Versus just like you just saw one, you're like, that's interesting. I saw a Bigfoot, kind of a crazy story. Moving on. No. Like
Yeah. I don't know I don't even know if I want to share it. People might think
that's
I'm crazy.
how I would, if I saw one, I would behave exactly like you. But other people get like hyper obsessed and they're like, I must prove it to the world that they exist. And that becomes what their life existence is about, right?
I mean, if they want to remain elusive, like I respect that.
Did you go back the next day and like look for footprints or check what you saw? Or
So I ended up sleeping in my car up in that area because the clouds got so thick that I literally couldn't see the road anymore. And I had to find a spot to pull off. And when I woke up in the morning, there were a lot more people because now I think it was the weekend and they were like all coming up to hike and stuff like that. So I just bailed and went.
Just went home.
All right. So even stranger than that.
Yeah.
This third story, I actually didn't even watch the video on this one because I was like, I want this to be more exciting to hear about on the podcast. So Ben, what's this topic about?
Yeah. So tell us about a hidden camp camera.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was in Louisiana.
Okay. Figures.
I kind of
I don't know what that means.
Of course.
No, I don't know what that means. I've never been there.
And now the hate mail starts coming in.
no, I actually really had a very good impression of Louisiana. This wasn't a highlight of it, but in general, it was nice. But at the time, I had kind of like this goal in my mind that I was going to go on a backpacking trip in all 50 states.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay,
I love
Louisiana,
that.
what's good? And I found this trail called the Azalea Trail. In the afternoon, just kind of decided to like go out and do just a short little like 3-mile thing and then camp and then come out the next day. So the hiking's easy. I get there and I'm like, oh, this looks like a good camp. There's pretty water. I see fish. I had seen like a couple other groups of people. One guy who kind of like creeped me out, but I think he just had like weird energy. So I get to this camp and I don't set up right away just because I had seen like this guy who kind of like kept popping up left and right when I was hiking.
Like lurking almost.
It felt like it's
like in the shadows. He's like, hello.
Yeah, kind of like, I'm like, I thought you were in front of me. How are you behind me again?
Oh, he's playing hide and seek with you. He's doing pranks with you, but he doesn't know you. It's like, like no rapport.
I mean, it could have been totally innocent. But I just got weird energy, and I go off of like the energy of people and animals a lot and how I react because it's sort of like all I have. It's my instinct. So when I get to this campsite that looks pretty good, I don't set up right away because I want to make sure that he's not going to like pop out from behind a bush again. And then I would be freaked out and want to leave.
She would not like hiking with us, Carl, with our pranks.
Well, we would have the rapport with her. So
she expects us to be the faint ragers and popping up. Yeah. All right. Continue on.
Okay. Before you continue, at this point, were you thinking, okay, if I do want to set up camp here, should I set some sort of a trap?
Ooh. Like a whole bunch of cans.
No, but I was thinking, can I find a spot that's more hidden? So at that point, I was looking sort of across the creek or river, whatever it is. And it was winding, so I could stay on the same side of it, but still like be across. So I was like, I'm going to go check out that area over there because it's not right off trail. And I can kind of hide my tent back in there and have more privacy at camp. So I go to check that out. And that's when I look over and see on a tree camera, like what those outdoor hunting cameras or whatever they're called.
Like a trap camera.
A trail cam.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's aimed directly at the obviously frequently used campsite that I was initially at. Like I lined my phone up to it. It's like dead at that. And I'm like, oh no, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Like that's an invasion of privacy. People are, doing all sorts of private things at camp.
Right.
And whether it's me or somebody else, like we don't need to have that. Like if you're trying to just watch animals, you have to like respect the fact that that's a campsite and be like, well, I guess I can't watch animals right here.
No, they're trying to watch the campsite, obviously, right? Like it's not.
I truly think so.
Yeah. So what was the campsite, like a privately owned spot, or was it just like dispersed camping, or
it's national forest?
National forest. Okay. Yeah. So did you set up your own camera facing the camera at the camera to capture who was going to go like check it?
I wish I would have thought of that.
Okay.
But I did.
Well,
next time.
So did you see the guy that kept popping up? Like, so you're thinking that guy, it was his camera, right?
That's kind of the theory in the comments. I don't necessarily think so, but like there's just too many weird things going on. I was like, I'm out of here.
Right.
So I left. It was only 3 mile hike.
It'd be hard not to take the camera and check the videos on it to see.
So that's
like,
what everybody told me. And I'm not familiar with those kind of cameras. So it didn't even occur to me.
Yeah, because you have, I imagine you have the cameras where like it records it locally, so you have it on site, and then you have the cameras where maybe you can kind of like feed in through data and
maybe
or I don't know, where you can access on your phone, you can see remotely what's happening, right?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if that's that type of camera. I'm just thinking there's other options, and so who knows if you're messing with the camera, maybe that person's like, oh, she found us, and then is But actually, now that I think about it, how hidden was this camera? Was it camouflage or was it pretty obvious?
It was camouflaged.
Okay.
The way I had to go to get over to that side was like blocked with a bunch of like down trees. It almost looked like he had intentionally tried to block the path.
Were you ever just like sitting there before you discovered the camera and you're like, I feel like I'm being watched?
Well, I was being cautious because I thought maybe like that guy. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was just like
kind
of hanging out, like looking around.
So maybe that guy was like your guardian angel. Because if it wasn't for him popping up, you wouldn't have found the camera.
Maybe. And I've also had another thought because later on when I was leaving, there was a group of like 4 or 5 guys all wearing red shirts. And I had seen them earlier. They were cool. They were doing like the whole through hike. And as I'm hiking out, I see them stopped on the side of the trail. And one of the guys is like blown out his knee or something. And none of them had a first aid kit, but I did. And I had like a bandage where he could wrap it. So I was able to give that to him so he could wrap it and they could finish their trip. I was like, maybe I was the guardian angel.
There you go.
Whoa. Okay. So things worked out there. But I think just now I'm going to be hyper vigilant about checking my campsites for hidden cameras and maybe even backcountry sites.
I'm just going to find those fake surveillance cameras and just start putting them up before we go hiking, Carl. So you can just keep finding
the fake ones that are like not actually wired?
Yeah.
Yeah, people will love you for that. They're like, thanks, Ben. Thank you.
Just to freak you out.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your storytelling abilities and the fact that you have the same type of appreciation for the crazy, weird encounters that we do when we are out on the trail. So I imagine that just like, having these types of encounters and just, it's just challenging just living out there on the road. For people who like showers, conversation, and like a sense of home, can a nomadic lifestyle like yours like fit the bill? What do you think?
I think it's not for everyone. It's probably a lot harder than people imagine. The stress of finding a place to sleep every night is probably one of the biggest things. And even if they allow it, it doesn't always feel safe. It's amazing. It's a lot of fun. Like if anybody has an inkling that they want to try it, like use the vehicle you have, use your time off, do a little setup, hit the road, do a great road trip and see how it fits, see how it feels. Because you'll probably know pretty quickly.
All right. Well, we're just like tip of the iceberg with the stories and the adventures you have on your YouTube channel. So we'll have a link in the show description, but it's time for our lightning round. And so you're going to have 1 minute to answer as many questions as you can. All right, Christina, are you ready?
So ready as I'll ever be.
All right, timer starts after I ask the first question. First question is, what is the favorite feature you have of your car?
Oh, wait, this is the lightning round.
Yeah, lightning round.
That is my house.
Okay.
Would you consider your car more practical than a tent?
Yes.
About how many miles have you put on your car in the last year?
Probably 25,000.
What was a better encounter, bear or Bigfoot?
Bear.
What's a YouTube channel that you're subscribed to?
Homemade Wanderlust.
Are you like Carl and get manicures on the trail?
No.
What's the grossest thing you found in your shoe?
Oh,
Mud?
Any alien encounters?
That's not bad.
Not yet.
What's your biggest fear as a nomad?
A car breakdown.
And time.
How many questions you got there, Ben?
I got 4.
4. Oh, so you got 9. Congrats. 9 is good. 9's better than average. Well done.
Okay.
Well done. Yeah. Anything you want to react to there, Ben?
I'm surprised she hasn't had alien encounters. I think that would be with all the traveling she does and the nomad, like kind of the desolate places.
You want her to have alien encounters.
I was surprised that she hasn't. Because we get a lot of guests and they're like, I've had alien encounters, but they haven't had the Bigfoot.
No, we don't. That is a completely
no.
Just because you want them to say yes to that question doesn't mean they've had an alien encounter.
Oh my gosh. What's yours?
Homemade Wanderlust. So Dixie, you're subscribed to Dixie's channel. I don't know if you've talked to her or met her, but she's the nicest person. She's amazing. And
yeah,
we were going to have her on our show back in January, and she was like trying to get a babysitter just to come on our podcast. So I was like, you got a lot going on. It's okay. You can just be a mom. I felt really like bad for asking, but she's the nicest person.
She is. Yeah, we did a collab way back in the day.
Oh, did you really? I didn't know that.
In the day, yeah.
Okay. Like, so you guys were together?
I did like a favorite luxury item collab like way back in like 2015 or 2016 or something. Maybe it was like 7.
What was that item?
I think mine was like a pillow, but I don't really.
What is it now?
Probably still my pillow, which is not. I don't know. I'm so old now that it's not even luxury.
It's a necessity having a good pillow.
Yeah.
So, what can we look forward to coming up on your channel? Nomad Unknown, like I said, it'll be linked in the show description, but what do you have coming out or what's going on with that? Anything else you want to share about it?
Yeah, so I've slowed down my travel style quite a lot. And really my personal focus right now is training up for 2026 Pacific Crest Trail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, let me know when you hit Syad.
Well, yeah.
She doesn't know what that is.
She will. She'll train for it.
People that have been through there know what it is, but she's just getting ready. She doesn't know all these like podunk towns.
Oh, I know. Well, that's why I'm warning her now.
Do you know Syad?
Are you doing? You know Syad?
Yeah,
I
do.
apologize.
Are you doing the pancake challenge?
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
I'll probably be pretty hungry.
I'm 10 minutes away from there. Yeah, I'm 10 minutes away, so just let me know.
Cool. Yeah, I was 2 days away
Carl.
from starting in 2020, and then it was like off the table. So it's like my redemption.
Yeah, that's
but
important.
I got ready for it. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm documenting.
Okay.
So that's big focus.
Hey, Christine, thank you so much for taking the time and joining the show and sharing your awesome stories. And keep up the good work on YouTube. And we're rooting for you.
Right. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
This episode is brought to you by Almond Joy. With its perfect blend of real creamy coconut, rich chocolatey taste, and a satisfying almond crunch, Almond Joy is the taste that simply takes you away. Blissful tropical flavors will have you feeling sunny vibes and ocean breezes in every bite. Almond Joy is the ticket to a sweet, indulgent, laid-back escape, one you'll want to return to again and again. Grab the creamy coconut and chocolatey crunch of Almond Joy today and taste paradise.
Choice Hotels get you more for your money so you can maximize any road trip. And as your vacation maximizationer, I'm going to make sure you hear the maximum sizzle of Comfort Inn's free hot breakfast. Let's get real close. Maximum apple. Now that's fresh crispimization. Maximum waffle. Hear that crunch. And that's maximum coffee. Oh yeah, that's the pour I'm talking about. Breakfast maximized before hitting the road. Check into more. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Hey y'all, life's journey is filled with change, growth, and exciting new chapters. Whether you're welcoming a new family member, stepping into a new city, or chasing after your biggest dreams, you need a ride that's built with more space for the grand challenges ahead. The Toyota Grand Highlander is made for those who embrace every twist and turn. With advanced safety features, innovative tech, and a bold, sophisticated design, it's the SUV that adapts with you with room to spare. This spacious beauty seats up to 8, gives you up to 97.5 cubic feet of cargo space, and has a diverse engine lineup, available in gas or hybrid options, including the powerful 362 horsepower Hybrid Max. Plus, available all-wheel drive means you'll have confidence no matter where life takes you. Ready to take on your dreams? The Grand Highlander is more than a vehicle. It's your partner in embracing all life throws at you. From daily routines to unexpected adventures, it's up for every grand challenge. Learn more at toyota.com/Grand Highlander. Toyota, let's go places.
Out on the trail, capability isn't optional, it's essential. That's why I'm using Case knives. Built for whatever comes your way, these knives have been trusted for more than 100 years, on the job, in the wild, and even to the moon. Made with craftsmanship in Bradford, Pennsylvania, every Case knife is a piece of American grit you can count on, whether you're splitting kindling, cutting paracord, or just cutting up some tape to take care of a blister. Case knives, every day capable. Do you struggle with joint pain, breathing at altitude, uneven terrain, or simple exhaustion? Then it's time to up your trail game, folks, with our good friend Rowan from Summit Strength. He's got a specialized program that will be just right for you to conquer your next adventure. Don't be left behind by the group again. Get your hands off your knees, get your butt off the log, and feel good getting after it with Summit Strength. The link to your success is always in our episode description, but you can check out all the information you need at summitstrength.com.au/online. It's time to be strong and pain-free for your next adventure. All right, Ben. So what did you think about Christine, the Nomad Unknown, in her stories?
Oh, she was good. She had some good stories. I like that she was nervous about the Bigfoot story getting out because, I think she pictured herself going to the grocery store and there's her picture on the tabloids and she's seen Bigfoot, and then she realized oh, it's not that big of a deal. Everybody sees Bigfoot up in this area,
right?
So
I know. Well, I mean, Derek and I were joking about how that the law enforcement in Washington had Bigfoot meetings about just encounters people were having, and
yeah.
In the end, it hasn't been captured, so I don't know what you're gonna do about it.
Still there, yeah, yeah. So that was good, and then just her willingness to just share about her life by herself on the road. I think that's cool. I wanted to ask, but maybe we'll have her on a different episode. Is the safety side of it. When you're going solo to all these places, how do you feel safe? We get a lot of solo backpackers, as you mentioned in the beginning of the podcast. And so I always get curious, how do you feel safe just by yourself?
Well, she mentioned that she had bear spray, and bear spray you can use it obviously against humans as well. Though I would caution against using it while you're still in your car, because then you might not go so well for you.
Right. And is it always on her hip? We forgot to ask her that. Is when she's in Louisiana, was it on her hip?
Yeah,
for
we could ask that.
Guy kept popping up. So yeah.
Right. I think we covered creepy guy, creepy camera. I don't think we needed to keep on going down that road.
Right.
So but you're right. We could have asked about safety at some point, though. I mean, you're going outside, you're going into the wilderness. There's an element of risk. It's always calculated risk. So no matter how safe you are, stuff can happen, unexpected things, right? So
right. Totally. What'd you think?
Yeah, I agree. Her grizzly stories, the way that she handled herself, super impressive. I think a lot of people freak out. I've just learned that in moments of crisis, people react. You can't predict how you're going to react, but people react very differently, and not everybody keeps their wits about them, obviously. And so I'm always impressed by people who are okay, let's think this through for a millisecond and kind of react appropriately. So well done there. The trail cam thing. Yeah, I think I might have dug in a little more on that one, right? I might have tried to open that thing up. What about you?
I think I would have just taken it. If it's in a national forest, unless it's hunting. So, we back up to the national forest and we get a lot of hunters in the area. So I can see there's a lot of trail cams around us because hunting season. So, but the weird thing pointing at the campsite, that's where I'd be let's open this up and maybe I'd take the SD card. I don't know.
I mean, technically, you just take the whole thing because it's technically litter, right? Because it's just not supposed to be there and it's left there, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that, right? I don't know if that's true or not.
And then you could just use it for yourself. You could basically legally steal it, essentially, right?
Yeah, and then just put it at different campsites, when you're camping to see if people come in.
Right. Or you could dust it for prints and figure out who put it there.
Right. Yeah. Well,
DNA
you just go to slide number 1 on those, and then the first person that shows up, that's it.
Yeah, if there's a selfie.
Yeah. Well, there's always a selfie because everyone's always trying to figure out how to use it, and then it's click,
hi, and then put that through facial recognition AI software, get an address, go visit them, and then interrogate them. Bring some sort of fake badge and be do you know what you did?
Do you know what you did? Horrible advice if you're really looking for some good advice.
Yeah, I don't think that's illegal. So, all right. But now people know what to do. If you find a hidden camera where it's not supposed to be and it's aimed at a campsite, then you got some tips there. So you can thank Ben for that.
Have you found anything weird at campsites?
Not what's that, the weirdest thing I don't think.
Yeah. What would be the weirdest thing you found?
At an established campground? I mean, I always think, so for me, we've talked about this, and this was years ago, they had this kind of rando article at the end of Backpacker magazine, 30 years ago, where it was weird things found in the middle of nowhere. And, it seemed like it was things that were dropped out of planes. There'd be some sort of oil drum with, no road for 100-mile radius, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The only thing that I found that's somewhat like that is I found in Yosemite, this, it looked like a boulder at first. It was just really big, but it was a saran wrapped pile of towels, like white towels, just saran wrapped.
Were they used or were they clean? Like, did you open up and smell?
I didn't unwrap them. I didn't need a towel at that point. But I'm guessing it could have just been like packed out, like mule packed out from one of those backcountry High Sierra camps that maybe just fell off the mule. Okay. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know. What have you found?
Yeah. For me, just litter. Like, I guess a Frisbee.
That's amazing.
I found it one.
That's an amazing story right there.
I know. Yeah. Typical. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't remember ever looking back, ever seeing anything that was like, whoa, guys, check this out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, if you go backpacking with me more often, then you'll just pay more attention because there's definitely more to say about that. Yeah. I'll be pointing things out.
Yeah. So, I'll start doing a larger sweep of the area.
Correct. All right. Well, hey, so thanks again to Christine and to her channel, Nomad Unknown, for providing us with some entertaining stories. I actually really talked to her. I hope she's willing to come on the show again. We'll find out. And okay, so we talked about this idea of trail encounters. So the only tidbits I got for this episode, like I want to know top 3 encounters you want to have on the trail. This is a pretty flexible category here. So give me the rundown. Give me one of yours. What you got?
I want to do alien. I think an alien encounter. Like that would just be fun.
Like not seeing a UFO, but an actual big-eyed gray alien.
Like where you just like they come up to you, they're peaceful because that would make the encounter a lot more enjoyable.
Okay.
But just see them and hopefully they speak English,
I think that they're supposed to communicate like with telekinesis. So I'm not sure. I don't know that you really want this. I don't think you really want
so that would be my top one.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's a really creepy answer. I want to run into. I think it'd be kind of fun to have like a random encounter with a guest we've had in the show, like one that we like. So we're like, oh,
we actually like. Oh, it's you. Oh.
Well, if it's something we're like, yeah, we like most. I mean, we get along with all of our guests, but some guests I don't know.
For me, it would be Durston. He called me out on the air.
Yeah, so Durston would be great. Christine that we just had on the show, she'd be friendly to meet. I'm trying to think, like hiking Rev from earlier this season. If we saw him on the trail, that'd be super fun. I'd love to talk to him. Yeah. So, all those folks. One that I would love to run into a guest from the show.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd recognize them because they're like, it's not the podcast setting, so it'd be
out
awkward.
of context. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would recognize. I think if we stopped and chatted for a moment, I think I'd recognize most.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What else do you want to encounter?
Ooh. Depending on where I'm at, like a good wild animal that's kind of endangered, like a cool experience.
Like a mammoth.
Yeah. Wouldn't that, maybe not mammoth, but like we were on a canoe trip and we had a bald eagle come and like just steal a fish right out in front of us on the water. And so, a encounter like that, that's always what I'm looking for is a good wildlife encounter. That
pretty general. I think I'm winning this category and it's not even a competition. I want to encounter a mountain lion, and this is like, again, assuming you're not going to get injured or killed. I know that mountain lion have seen me while I'm out there because they're just all over the place. But I've never actually encountered one, so it'd be kind of cool to be like, hey there.
I have yet to encounter them, but I've heard them behind our house. Okay. So there's that for me. And they're scary.
What do they sound like behind your house?
They're like screeching, like deep screeches. Oh yeah.
Like go ahead.
Go for it. It's like a I can't. It's like so higher pitched though. So yeah, I go out there and like try to kind of scare it away from all our animals. But
okay,
I don't know. So I probably couldn't do mountain lion. But yeah.
All right, last one.
I think encountering a celebrity.
Okay.
Like
who?
A good celebrity, not like Bear Grylls would be weird because it's like you're there hiking, but maybe like Chris Pratt.
Okay.
I think would be a fun one. Someone that you're just not expected to that would bring some humor and maybe talk. And, hopefully you're hiking, like you come together at the fork in the road and you're both hiking the same way. So it's not like you can hike with for a while.
Right.
And then maybe after a while, like, the celebrity's like, this guy's kind of lame. And, they're trying to lose me. They're like, oh, I'm actually going the wrong way.
Like I'm hiking intentionally faster or slower just to go at a different pace.
Yeah. You know those awkward moments when they stop and they're like, oh, I'm going to tie my shoe. It's like, okay, I'll wait for you. It's like, no, it's going to take me at least 20 minutes to tie my shoe. You just keep walking.
Here's the trick is you don't acknowledge that they're a celebrity. And so you just treat them like a regular person. So then they think that they're just having a regular encounter. and they don't feel like you're fanboying the whole time. That's
Do you think that works though? Because I mean, every time they get pulled over, they're like, "Don't you know who I am?" And
I think people that maybe are like newer celebrities or that have insecurities would be that way, but I don't think. Yeah, I don't think somebody who's been.
What's a celebrity that you'd want to meet on the trail?
I'm not a big celebrity person, so I wouldn't care. So I don't care about meeting celebrities. I shared this earlier. I did invite Paul Bettany, the guy that's like, he's been in a ton of movies. He was Vision in the Avenger stuff. I know he's a backpacker, and I think he just reminds me a lot of Derek, like from some of his like early comedy stuff. And he kind of looks like him in his early days. So I guess him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool for you to meet Bear Grylls on the trail, and you have to push the red button for Bear Grylls.
Wait, now you're creating a scenario. This isn't just meeting somebody. You're like, Bear Grylls is in trouble.
No,
Rescue him.
And you have to push the red button.
No.
And your first thing would be to take out the camera and be like,
I would just carry him out. Come on.
All right. What's your last one?
All right. I want to have, we keep on joking about Bigfoot, but I wouldn't mind seeing Bigfoot out there once or twice. Just
once or twice, not just once.
If I steal the trap camera from Louisiana and I bring some apple bait and we roll in the mist in Washington, we can kind of just create the scene and get the cameras rolling. So we'll see what happens.
Now, I wonder if that's really why that camera was there. So if there's like some sort of mythical creature living right there.
The Louisiana Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could
Interesting.
Be. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there is your Encounters episode. And thanks again to Christine, Nomad Unknown. Like I said, we got our link in the show description. Ben, you got anything else?
Yeah. Just remember, if you're encountering stuff on the trail, you're encountering life.
Wow. Mind blown. All right, everybody. Have a great week and God bless.
Backpacking and Blisters family, how are you all doing? This is Rock, and there's been some strange encounters out on the trail. There's two encounters that stand out the most, and those are one where I was actually not on a trail backpacking with the guys. I was out by myself for a run at a cabin area, and I wasn't too far from the cabin. So I went for a run. I was only about a half mile away, and I hear a snap behind me, twigs snapping. I turn around, and there's a 150-pound mountain lion. I actually recorded it. I was yelling at it and recording it at the same time. And I picked up a rock to, intimidate it and stuff like that. And it just backed down and didn't bother me. It was pretty awesome. The thing was huge. And it's a beautiful animal, too. Then the next one was when we were up at Mount St. Helens Trail with the Oregon guys, Jerry and Jason. I was it was probably about 3 a.m, and I thought there was a worm on my mouth. And I was going, what? And, so it wakes me up, right? Because I was sleeping. And I go, dude, there was a worm on my mouth. What is this, right? So I just kind of start going back to sleep. And 2 minutes later, I go, wait, I think there was a worm on my mouth. Better check the tent, see if there's anything else in here. Sure enough, that was when I woke, stood up and kind of cleared everything out of the way, and there in the corner was a mouse. That mouse's tail had gone right across my mouth. How disgusting is that? So that's a pretty odd encounter on the trail. Last but not least, there are 2 things that I still want to encounter on the trail. Those are a fully padded football player, in helmet, shoulder pads, everything complete with the football, even cleats. Yes, cleats. And then I would really like to run into mohawks and mustaches. Most legendary wrestling duo of all time.
Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads, race car bobbleheads, little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Choice Hotels get you more for your money so you can maximize any road trip. And as your vacation maximizationer, I'm going to make sure you hear the maximum sizzle of Comfort Inn's free hot breakfast. Let's get real close. Maximum apple. Now that's fresh crispimization. Maximum waffle. Hear that crunch. And that's maximum coffee. Oh yeah, that's the pour I'm talking about. breakfast maximized before hitting the road. Check into more. Book direct at choicehotels.com.